Hey guys, if you clicked on this link video, you press play, you're obviously tad interested in what I have to say. I want to talk about my personal coming out story. I just saw Love, Simon the other day, and it brought back so many memories, so many feelings, so much emotion. I never really talked about my coming out experience, and growing up, YouTube was just an app that you could look up music videos on, and that was pretty much it. I wish I had what kids nowadays have access to as far as YouTube goes. I was, looking for things of how do you know you're gay? What do gay people like? What do gay people do? I kind of wish I had these videos nowadays where you could just look it up and see someone else's coming out story, see how they felt, see what they went through. I just wanted to share my own personal coming out story with you guys and see if this could help anybody else, come out or get the courage to at least accept who they are, or anything like that. Let's start off from the beginning. My first knowledge that I was, different was about 13, 14. I noticed I wasn't like the other kids. I liked music. I loved watching movies. I loved drawing. I did play sports. I played baseball ever since I was like 5. I was always active. I was always doing something, some type of sports. But I knew I was different in the way that I was teased. I was bullied in school, 3rd grade all the way up until pretty much 7th or 8th grade. Kids would call me faggot, pussy. I got called all the names in the books. And, I was a quiet kid. I was a gentle giant. I was always the tallest kid in the class, the biggest, and just, I don't know, it made me a target being different. I would pretty much look at guys and know that it was a different feeling than when I looked at girls. Has anyone ever, gay guys, went to the underwear section or like the newspaper ads, and you guys would just look, oh, I'm looking at clothes, and then just bypass the underwear, or like you were in a store and you would just stare at the underwears or underwear guys on the pack of underwears? If you've done that before, comment below, please. I just want to know that I'm not the only one that's done that. So yeah, I knew I was different. I had more girlfriends than I did guy friends, and it was about my senior year. My senior year in high school is when I actually started coming to terms with, alright, I think he's cute, I think he's cute, and having no sexual urges from girls. I dated a couple girls in high school, or I talked to them, but yeah, it never went further than kissing and holding hands. I was always too scared that somebody would find out. Fast forward after high school, I was still keeping it under wraps. I had, tried to have sex with girls just to fight the knowledge of me being gay and see if I could try it, see if I could try girls. But it never worked. It never worked. I always blamed it on me being drunk, me having too much respect for girls to do this to them in bed. I was 19, going to be 20, when I started talking to my very first boyfriend. I was head over heels for this guy. We kept everything under wraps for about a good 4 or 5 months into dating. I knew that I had such strong feelings for him to where there's a certain point in your life to where you pretty much just say, fuck it. Fuck it. I want to bring this guy around to my family. I want to, you know, do things in public with him, go on dates. So the first thing I needed to do was to tell my mom. My mom and me have a really, really close relationship. I knew I needed to tell her, I just did not know how to. So, little quick story. I was making out with my boyfriend at the time in the parking lot, and you know, things start getting hot and steamy, whatever. A security cop comes around and he's like, get off, get off, get off, stop, stop, stop. So I get off, I pull up my phone, and I was like maybe 6-7 minutes into a phone call to my mom. I had butt dialed her while we were doing some nasty stuff. I was speechless. I was like, it was just, oh my God, my heart dropped, my stomach dropped. I canceled the call. Automatically I get a text from my mom saying, Marky, I just heard you having sex with a guy. Get your ass home now. We need to talk. I just started bawling. I was like, fuck, my life's over. I go home. Me and my mom don't talk for about 2 days. Finally had the courage to confront her about it. And she goes, are you gay? And I said, yes, I am gay. I have a boyfriend. And we've been dating for about 5 months already. And he's an amazing guy, yada yada yada. And she's like, why haven't you told me? My mom, you know, my mom is my #1 supporter. My mom is definitely my #1 supporter. She said, I love you no matter what. I had a feeling. Mothers always know. Mothers always have this intuition about their children. By this time, I was having really bad panic attacks. And this was when I started seeing a therapist to get on medication, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medication. I'm just trying to keep everything under wraps. For those of you who follow me and don't know where I live in Tucson, Arizona. So in Tucson, it's a small town. It's a really small town, and there's not a lot of things to do here besides talk and be in other people's business. So we started spending more time together, me and my boyfriend, and we would get texts from people saying, you know, are you gay? Or who's this guy you're hanging out with all the time? We just saw you out, blah, blah, blah. I finally reached that point about that time where I was just saying, why am I hiding? Why do I want to keep this guy a secret? Because I am so in love with this guy, and you know, I want to show him off, and I want to tell people who he is, and you know, all that. So I just reached that fuck it point. But before I could actually hit that point, I had to tell my dad. I know that my dad's family is huge. They're huge. There's so many people in my dad's family. And I knew that a lot of people knew my dad's family. The Aldays are pretty well known, especially for baseball in Tucson. I just didn't know how to tell my dad. And it just hurt me, and it was... I never, ever, growing up, I never wanted to disappoint my dad. I tried to do everything to make him happy, see me as a man, see me as, you know, someone he could be proud of. And I felt like this would have been a huge just disappointment to him. Rumors started to go around that I was hanging out with this guy a lot, and somebody had told my dad, and one day my dad had confronted me, and he's like, "Who's this guy you're hanging out with?" I was like, "He's just a friend." And my mom was there. My mom pretty much freaking forced me out to my dad. Like, I love my mom, but she just didn't understand that this stuff, this situation, you cannot rush and you cannot force someone out, and you cannot force somebody to tell someone else. You come out on your own terms, on your own time, when you feel comfortable and when you reach that point. But my mom unintentionally was like, "Do you have something to tell your dad?" I knew that this was it. I first came out to my dad as I told him that I was bisexual, that I liked boys and girls, just to kind of ease coming out to him. I was just so scared, and my mom, my dad said, whatever, and he took it surprisingly well. He goes, "Do you have a boyfriend? Is that the guy you're hanging out with?" And I told him, "Yes, that's my boyfriend. We've been dating for about 6-7 months already, and it's going pretty well." And yeah, my dad pretty much was like, "This is his life." He told my mom, "This is his life. I can't do anything about it. He's gonna do whatever the fuck he wants to do, and I can't stop him." So on my end, I thought we were good. A week later or 2 weeks later, I finally had the courage to tell him, "Dad, I'm not bisexual. I'm gay. I only like men." By this point, my dad was already being kind of standoffish with me. And I told him, I don't have any attraction to girls. That was just kind of like a front to tell you, and it just made it easier on me. Just pretty much like, whatever. The next about 3 weeks, my dad did not talk to me. He did not look at me. I would say hi, he'd turn the other way. I'd walk in the room, he'd walk out. And for that, I went through a deep, deep depression. I couldn't handle my dad's rejection. My dad's approval was all I ever needed in my life, especially with playing sports, baseball, and all that. So it just killed me. It was on the 4th of July. We were having a family cookout, and I was leaving to go see my boyfriend at the time. So I was saying bye to everybody, and my dad was still not talking to me. So I went up to say hi to or bye to my dad, and I don't know, it was just the way he looked at me, or the way he just, brushed me off. I just broke down. I had the biggest panic attack in front of everybody. It was so embarrassing in front of everybody. I was crying to my mom, and my mom's like, "What did he say to you? What did he do?" And I told her, and she went out. That's how thug my mom is. Not thug, but badass. She went outside and told him in front of everybody, "How fucking dare you treat your son this way? He is still the same person. My kids are everything to me, and you're not going to disrespect my son." So me and my dad go out and talk. I'm bawling at this point. My dad tells me, "Is this something I did? Did I treat you differently? Did I do something to make you this way?" And I think it was just the not knowing that scared him, and that made him this way. Pretty much my whole family is very old-fashioned. They're very Mexican. You grow up drinking beer, playing sports. You marry a woman, get her pregnant. You guys have a family, and it continues that way. So for one of their kids to actually come out as gay. It was a big hit. It was a big hit, and I completely understood, but I just wanted him to understand that I'm still the same person. I'm still the same kid that I've always been, that I was before, the day before I even told you. We talked it out. I made sure he understood that it was nothing he did, that I'm just this way, I was born this way, and that I've always been like this, and I will continue to always be like this. It's definitely not a choice, and I used to tell people that all the time. It's not a choice. I wouldn't choose a life full of ignorance, full of disrespect, full of hatred, full of people thinking that you're lower than them. And growing up, it was so difficult for me to actually accept that I was different. My dad's family completely accepted me. They loved me. So does my mom's family. My mom's family accepts me for who I am as well. And, you know, after we talked it out, after we got everything off of our chest, it was pretty much like, when do we meet him? And they met my boyfriend at the time, and we were together for about 2 years. Now, looking back, I would have never thought that I'd be here talking to people about this, sharing my story, and seeing if I could help other people. I would have never thought that in a million years. I honestly didn't think that I'd be here. And it was hard. It was hard. But if I were to give advice to anybody, it would be that it gets better. It gets better. As corny as that line is, it gets better. I actually got this tattoo on my bicep. It's "This too shall pass," and that is a ode to me coming out and dealing with my depression and my anxiety, which I still have today. I still go through, you know, I still have episodes, and I take medication daily for it. I love my family. My family is everything to me. My friends have been super supportive of me as well. After I acquired that mentality of fuck it, I need to be who I'm going to be, and everybody else who doesn't agree with it or has different opinions about it, I don't need them in my life. I don't need them. It doesn't matter if it was my mom, if it was my brother, if it was my cousin, my whoever, my friends, my best friends. I've lost people that I thought were very, very important to me. But that just goes to show that they were never 100% for you. They were never meant to be in your life. And I'm a big believer in that. So I hope this video helps you guys in any kind of way. I believe that we will one day live in a world where we no longer have to come out. But until that day comes, we will still have to come out, and we'll still have to gain that courage and pull through. It's not an easy road. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. But you need to know that it gets better and that it's never going to stay like this forever. I don't know what they say. Like, subscribe, comment. I don't know. Let me know. I'm excited to play around with videos and, you know, share a couple of my experiences, share my rants. A couple of you guys are a little used to my rants over on my Instagram. I hope this helps you guys. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.